clearly charges the magnets inside them and become really stuck together.
End it in one hand,
Trust me, I will try to end this in one.
Is Keith still in the thing?
No.
You can just tell he understands like how the ranges change and when we get to lead, when we don't get to lead, and I've been thoroughly impressed with Jean Juan. And not only does he have that tower, he has something that not a lot of people have, and that is the capability to run it when you're playing for tens of thousands of pounds. We saw the huge check raise, 140% all in turn yesterday with 2 tables left. So he's got that move in the locker as well, so that is a dangerous opponent. Someone that has a great fundamental baseline but can really put the pressure on as well.
We're going to defend the big. Brendan has opened 10 Jack of Diamonds. Brendan has opened 3-bet to 200 with 9-4 against Brendan.
All aboard the exploit train, this has to be, and this has to be what we spoke about. So David's obviously picked up on what we've picked up. Feels like Brendan's not playing enough hands, he's potentially playing too tight, and he's not going to have he's not going to defend correctly. I feel like that's how David will feel in this spot. So if David feels like that, maybe he feels like he just gets the 3-bet deck. But I'm not sure about 9-4 tower. To be fair, I'd never take it myself, but it has to come from that baseline. I feel like this is where David is coming from here. He feels like Brendan's not going to be defending correctly. He's going to be overfolding. So he's just decided to roll in the old 9-4 off.
On the flop for Brendan, 8, 9, 10 flop, top pair wrapped around it. David scored a piece as well.
Yeah, I think David though, just aware now, like once Brendan does defend, going to tread carefully. Jack 10 of diamonds. Top pair up and down. David Lennon. Still going to come along with his middle. Was only south of quarter pot. Continue.
Off to the turn, which is a 5 of diamonds.
Yeah, and now as Brendan, maybe where we do check back. Like it's horrific if we get check jammed, and we're not going to against David's particular hand, obviously, but if he ever has some hands that potentially want to go for check jam, it's a 3-bet pot, like value bet threshold. I don't think we get to go bet with a 10, so great junction to check perhaps here is the turn, but not going to get that option. We are going to go for bet instead, so finds quarter again.
150.
Now as David, no real sort of straight draw or anything to go alongside the 9. Is this where we're just going to see him get out of the way? Isn't 9-4 part of the deck? Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. Maybe David thinks he's gonna 3-bet deck, but I personally wouldn't 3-bet deck. That's what I'm saying. Even if I think the person is playing.
What's David's plan on the river?
Well,
it's called with the 9. Oh, that's grim.
Wow.
What a river card for David Ledden.
That is ridiculous, Tower. And to be fair, now he snags it, he might actually go for the lead, because Brendan shouldn't have any 9x other than, like, no, he can't have 9x. He's called the 3-bet. So Brendan actually can't have 9x here. So therefore, like even 8-9 suited, 10-9 suited, they're not going to call it at this stage. So therefore, he's probably going to check back a lot of his range on the river as Brendan. So we're going to take this away from him as David Ledden decides to donk jam the 9, just sort of realising this is a river card that's going to be checked back heavily from Brendan. So taking it away from him. And now Brendan in a real grim spot with the Jack 10. And this is really strange, because where is David going to find bluffs from? What hand wants to call twice, check call, and now wants to donk shove the river? Like, with no backdoor flush draw present? You're really stretching, Tower, because like if David has 3-bet something like ace 10, he never donk jams. If he's somehow got like a Jack 8 suited, sort of the pair up and down, pair gut shot, he never jams river, because we still beat some like King Jack suited, some King Queen suited, some Ace Jack suited, some viable bluffs for Brendan. So where on earth is David meant to get a bluff from? But now let's flip it the other way. Where's his value coming from, Tower? Like, what 9x is going to call twice? Jack 9 suited, Queen 9 suited potentially, but you're not going to assign him 9-4 off, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
So it's really strange spot for David here, because it's you struggle to assign bluffs, but you also struggle to assign value as well. Like, would David really check call, and overpair, and now want to donk jam river? I don't think so. Would he want to check call, ace 10, donk jam river? I don't think so. So he's basically saying he's got a 9, but the 9x that get here, I guess, are the ones with the straight draws with no backdoor flush draw present. So Jack 9, Queen 9, these type of holdings, I'd never give him 9-4 off. Like, I expect the 9x with no redraw to just fold turn if I'm sat there as Brendan. So it's a really weird spot for him.
Yeah. And he's time banked himself into the break.
Queen Jack, we have a Jack. That could actually work. Queen Jack may make sense. Someone in the chat saying Queen Jack potentially. Yeah, I could see it. That actually could make a bit of sense for David. Flop the nuts, check call. Doesn't want him to check back this 9 river. But Brendan has a key blocker to that, obviously. We have a Jack in hand, removal to some Queen Jack.
Last time bank. Into the break. We are. What a last hand of the session. Brendan McManus, it's all of it to call.
I don't think he's going to call Tower. I feel like.
He's made the call
He's
to see the bad news.
Ready, guys? Just pick a card.
Knew it.
That table seat 7 usually.
You like your
Good luck,
Yeah.
Constantin.
Good luck.
Did he bring the card with him? Take the card with him.
I'm sure.
I'm going to need that card back.
You've got the ace of spades.
Ace is 3, yeah.
I thought they'd be playing
Yeah, we're gonna need-
one after each other. I didn't think they'd be playing at the same time.
No, neither did I. I think the other. I thought it was going to be one after another. I think that was the original one.
At least I can see your cards on the screen.
You can see it after watching the stream.
Got Constantin and Constantin's in seat 3.
The button is going to be Brew.
Red background.
Yeah, I know.
Good evening, and welcome to the UK. I thought you broke it then already. You had 2 weeks off. Press the button.
Spurs play tomorrow. We're all right tonight.
The UK Open, welcome. I just looked at the background there. I thought it was red. Obviously, it's not a GUKPT. It's the UK Open, but this is the heads-up battle that started online. They got down to the final 4 of Dan Stancer, Yazoo Yin, Constantin Erhan and Keith Littlewood. They're the 4 names. And first place is 7,000, 3.5 for second, so bang double for second. And if you lose in the semis, it's 1,780. But you played online, you made it to the final 4, they stopped, and now you're in COV for the final. And what is happening is we're going to do this one, and the other game is playing at the same time on the outer table, but obviously not bringing you the action from that one, because obviously it's being played at the same time. If this goes really quick, we might just fling them on, but I weren't too sure whether we were going to play one semi and then play the second semi and then play the final. I weren't too sure, But heads up experience, Jay. How much have you had?
Not much. I think in lifetime live, probably 3, maybe 4 heads up bouts. Maybe even just 3. I'm not actually that sure, but one of the purest forms of poker. No hiding around.
But not many people practice.
It's hard to practice, Tao, because unless you're a heads up pro and you just play heads up specifically, then you're going to be studying that. But the only time you're going to be heads up is when you're the last 2 in a tournament, and that's not going to happen very often.
That is true.
But no hiding around. Want to see lots of flops. Can't just wait for a hand. Need to be battling.
Starting with 100 bigs with the blind starting at 100, 200 on a 20-minute clock. So looking forward to it. A little bit of something different. We'll show you the full schedule of the live streams for the rest of the week. Could be a long day. Clock's not moving. I don't know. The unlucky goat's already seen it as well. I don't know why the clock's not ticking. It did start and then it stopped. Maybe they just clicked it and double clicked it by mistake. I will sure it would start up and catch up very soon. Evening, DJ Scotty. Good evening and welcome one and all.
So plenty of play in this one for these guys. In 20 minutes, actually, a decent clock to have in the heads up. Going to see 2-3 times more hands than you would full ring.
Yep, hands up, clock's not moving.
Plenty of time to work with.
There's Luke, not noticed the clock's not moving either. How are we doing, Lewis? Watching on Facebook. Heads up battle. 4 players for today's live stream. Constantin, and if you have seen him, you will have seen him on a couple of cash tables that we've streamed before. And Keith, top of the MPL.
Yeah, he's flying this year, isn't he?
He is indeed. Top of the MPL. So, this week, here we go. We're on Tuesday the 25th. Online heads up final. Online 6 max tomorrow at 12:20. When that finishes, there'll be a break, and then the main day 3 at 5:20. So we'll get an hour, or obviously how long the online 6 max final takes. But we'll get a couple of hours break, and then Thursday the high roller at 1:20. Friday is 1C, normal time 12:20. Now, forgetting the schedule, I'm guessing Saturday must have an early turbo.
Oh yeah, I've just seen that. I'm guessing that is going to be the case.
Nope.
Next page.
Next page.
I'm guessing.
Right, hey, what's happening here? What we pressing here? God, we've only been off 2 weeks.
There we go.
Yay! We found it.
Saturday, day 2 starts at 2 p.m. Turbo at 10 a.m. for the early birds.
Anybody fancy the Last Chance Saloon on Saturday morning? Into the big one, the Millie Guarantee. 10 a.m. turbo. I know, yeah. I'm going to have to... I think, well, the clock's now disappeared, so I'm guessing when it comes back, it should be down to about 16 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. It should be anyway. When it comes back. Not much chatting at the table. First meaningful 3-bet.
Keith not going to be able to continue the 9-5. Constantin getting that one through. See in the background there, Tara, bad beat jackpot.
Yes.
I was there.
Was you?
I was there.
In Birmingham?
I was there in Birmingham, so we've gone up on Friday night. We weren't actually planning to go, but she goes, I really want to play PLO. I've never played PLO. There's a PLO comp on at Hill Street, £60. Can we go up and play? I go, yeah, we'll go up and play it. just sitting there playing the PLO comp, and it was so disappointing because there was a table, and they were like, "Oh, there was no cheers. There was no cheers. They were all just looking around. They didn't realise what had happened.
Right.
That had to be explained what had just happened." And what actually happened was, the story is, because someone come over and told us,
Yeah.
the matey who had he didn't really know how to play the game. Matey who had quad kings on the river, who lost to the straight flush, just flatted £50. He didn't even race, so he didn't really know how to play the game. It was his first time playing the game,
Okay.
and he just called pocket kings on the river for £50, and matey's turned over 4 3 of hearts for the straight flush, and someone was like, "Oh, that's the beat jackpot." There weren't even cheers. We were all sitting there in the tournament like, "You just won 30
Shit, they've been offered everything on a big wheel like that.
But I think the reason there weren't cheers because no one like at the table understood what had happened. It was like a Friday night, 1-1, small game, like 50 to like £100 stacks, and then next thing you know, there's your 30 grand you lose with quad kings or whatever the cut was.
Yeah.
So there you go. I was there.
You was there, but not playing on the Oldham tables.
Unfortunately not.
You'd have got a couple of £100 if you'd have been sat down playing. Wow. Just flattening the kings about all the table, like, what are you doing? Hey, so the clock's caught up, as we thought it would do.
Does Keith want to try and bluff at this? He is going to go for the bluff here on the river. Constantin having a little mull up with 10 high. Ace, King, Queen all on board. Don't really expect Keith to bet jack highs. Think about the hero, but lets it go.
So heads up battles, we've seen them last a couple of hands, we've seen them last a couple of hours. What about the mystery bounty this week? You'd have loved the stream.
What happened?
You'd have absolutely loved the stream of the mystery bounty. They get heads up.
Yeah.
The blinds are 15,000, 30,000. They chop the money.
We're at the bar.
They played until the big blind was 400,000.
80, 100, 120. What was the clock?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, about 4.5 hours.
5 hours, 2 minutes.
5 hours. I would have been God Tower. You'd have been here by yourself.
You know when you get down to 9 bigs, average stack.
Yeah.
Then you know it's time to go home.
Yeah. Oh.
You do. I mean, I tell you what, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I'm glad we did. 5 hours of heads up on a half-hour clock. That must have been.
And they split the money.
What?
The only thing I can think of, they're either a massive bounty, and they didn't chop because obviously there's 2 bounties.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what the bounties were.
Even still,
but
you
surely,
expected to get
if
in.
you're going to chop the money, chop the bounties. But yeah, 10 levels. 10 levels. So something different for the live stream. UK Open, we've got plenty to show you what has been going on. The numbers today, by the way, for the mini, absolutely incredible. Yesterday was the biggest flight of a £340 event we've ever had, with 329 runs. It has just been
Surely the turbo's got
carnage.
close to one of the biggest turbo flights.
The
as
turbo
well.
got 334 and just beat it actually. Beat it by 5. 334 in the turbo. So, just absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. There were 912 runners in a £340 event.
How you doing, Kev? Welcome. 6 days of streaming. Kicking off with a heads-up championship semi-final between Constantin and Kev. Yazoo Yin and Dan Stancer on the outer table, battling out their semi.
Yeah, give you updates on that if we get them. Playing at the same time, not making anybody wait.
Anyone triple captain Salah last few weeks? Yes, the person I have a bet with, a side bet. Walshy.
All right.
The one that always comes in the chat, the one
Yeah.
that moaned when you pick my team that week.
Yeah.
It's not allowed. He triple captain in the double game week and got 168 points, I think, that week or something silly like that. He got the highest scoring week in our league. I know that for sure. I think 160 something.
Wow.
I know there was me with my measly 60 something, thinking I've had a good week. But
How doing, Razor Kev? How's the back? Are you coming to Cov? So King 9 flop. Blinds 100, 200. 20-minute clock for the semi-final of the heads up.
Keith just with the stab.
And the 7 deuce game in effect.
Oh yeah.
Kev's on his way. Thursday to Sunday. Good stuff. Lovely to see. We'll both start with 100 bigs. Constantin taking an early lead. 20-minute clock, as Jay says. Nice clock for a heads-up battle. And then we'll be streaming the final. We'll have a break in between, I'm guessing.
Keith with a Jack 10. Constantine King 9. Gonna bump it up.
Gonna see a flop with the Jack 10 is Keith. Yes, I flop. Ace deuce 7. Better to fold. Saw Keith Little the other day in the Greg's queue. It was in the Greg's queue at midday.
Midday.
Everton, Man United kicked off at 12:30.
Yeah.
I went, what are you doing in queue? Kick-off's in half an hour. And he says, I'll get back, don't worry about that. So I'm looking forward to this one, thumping Everton. I said, I'm just going to get myself back. I'm having a lazy morning. Sees him at half-time. So what are you doing here? He went, they're absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, they are.
In different words. He went, I'm not watching any more of that. I went, all right, okay. I said, how was your Greg's? He went, it was great.
A bit of action here. 8 of hearts in Keith's hand. Do expect him to continue. Heads up as well. Some situations could even be best with Jack High. Up against the 10x of Constantine, but both making
Oh, interesting.
a flush here. And like in heads up, like poker here, tower, like value bet and thresholds are actually going to be a lot wider than like a riffle ring. So there's Constantine there. Even with the 9 of hearts, think we can maybe just go bet. Like Keith still has to call some like 2 pairs, some non-flush hands. Just with ranges being as wide as they are. Actually going for the thin value raise on the river instead. Checking back turn, getting the value with the raise on the river. Very nice indeed. So a lot of people may just go for the call. Worried about a bigger heart, but raises it up. Has Keith pip. Lovely bit of value on the end.
I don't think he's lost a hand yet, Constantine.
Just a little bit of history as well for your tower.
Yep.
Heads up championship. This is Constantine's, according to the database, first ever heads up.
Ah, okay.
His best ever finish
Yeah.
is 4th place in any tournament he's played, so heads up experience is going to be little. However, Keith Littlewood has played heads up 16 times,
16.
according to the database. A few of them have come at the Sheffield Nightly comp about 10 years ago, £30 buy-in, but Keith is definitely going to have the better heads up experience here. He's also got a few nice victories as well. decent comps, 4 figures, 5-figure scores, closing out tournaments as Keith. So definitely the more experienced in the heads-up field is Keith Littlewood. And Constantin, from what I can see, hasn't really played much heads-up, if any. Do they count, Tower? Your £30 nightlies in Sheffield?
If you input them yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
Anything under, is it under £100 has to be inputted
Yeah.
personally? You just like to see your name in lights. That's what it's all about. I wouldn't have done it, but Keith obviously thought, yeah. I told them myself we're going to play poker, and there's the proof.
Yeah, there you go. I better input this. I might be playing on stream in a heads-up championship in 10 years' time. So both of a pair here, so should see some action. Constantine going to have to check call this bet. Keith out of position, choosing to lead.
Nice turn for Keith.
Hoping to get the bet here from Constantine, and King of Clubs on the river. Kind of an interesting one here for Constantine. 1k from Keith, because like we don't expect Keith now to bet a jack or an 8 tower, so it's kind of interesting. Like he's saying that he's got an ace or better, and like we'll call some ace highs on flop for sure. We'll start raising some from the big, but I wouldn't be surprised if a deuce heroed here, because like Keith not going to value bet a jack or an 8. Constantine maybe thinking he's got some 9-10, 9-7, 10-7, these type of gut shots that are just mandatory bluffs now, but maybe feels like a deuce just too low down to be thrown on the cape. Keith takes that one.
Flowing back. What he lost. Aye, aye, Gary Miliotti's in the building.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi, the Miliottis. Hello, you legends. When you're back in Luton? When are we back in Luton? I'll show you the GUKPT schedule straight after this hand. I think it's before Vegas. I'm pretty sure. Not too much of a break for Vegas for this one. Seven, 5 deuce.
Yeah, I like the call here from Keith. Just got 10 higher, but as I say, heads up, need to be fighting for these pots. We've got position, 2 overs, 3 to straight. Now can just let it go. 3 of hearts turn, especially sizing from Constantine. 5k, 125%. Nothing the 10-8 can really do here.
There you go. When are we back in Luton? There we go. End of April. Straight after the Irish Open that he's going to win.
That would be nice. I just want a trophy.
Deep.
I don't
Yeah.
really. I haven't had a trophy in a few years. I'd like a trophy, Charlie. Just dust on the mantelpiece. Need another trophy.
Talking of the Irish Open. Global Poker Awards. Individual competition of the year. The Irish Open.
Oh well.
Won it. Won it. The individual poker festival of the year, the Irish Open, and Paul O'Reilly's 6-pint deep speech.
I'll have to watch it. I'll have
Brilliant.
to watch it when we go on break.
Brilliant. You know Penn and Teller?
Yeah.
So they've got JP there, Nick O'Hara's gone over, and I think Glenn Doyle's gone over as well, and JP. So and Paul O'Reilly. Obviously, Paul O'Reilly owns it all.
Yeah.
JP sidekick does all the work and all that. They both do all the work. JP gets the trophy. He's like that. He's like Alan Hansen back in the 80s. He's like that. Emily Newsweek read out. Paul O'Reilly gets in front of the microphone. 10-minute speech. He stood there like he might have pen or tenner. Can't get a word in edgeways. He's just stood there with trophy, waiting to get the words in. And he was just about to lead forward, and Paul said, "Right, that way, off you go." It was so funny. But well done to the Irish Open, winning the individual festival of the year 2024. And also Danny Maxwell, who we know, who's from Dublin. he won Photograph of the Year,
Photograph of it.
which was done at the EPT that Barney won.
Oh, okay.
You got a fantastic black and white silhouette of Barney Bolton with the trophy. You get a big, massive trophy. So yeah, well done to him. But Danny's won it a couple of times because Danny Maxwell won it 2 years ago. You remember when John McCann was on the bubble?
Yes.
And there was everybody around
I
that. That
remember
one, that one Photograph of the Year as well, and that was him.
Yeah.
That was Danny. So Danny from Dublin, well done. We'll see you over there because he'll be there working. But the Irish Open got themselves a nice bit of recognition for the standalone event of the year.
Deserved as well, to be fair.
Absolutely.
I think the one that a lot of people look forward to on the calendar.
But we're there in Luton straight after the Irish Open week. Oh, we'll see you there, Gary.
So, chipping away is Constantin. To be fair to Keith, hasn't really had much connection with flops. A lot of whiffs when your opponent is flopping pairs and you're just whiffing boards. Difficult to make chips heads up. Hoping things can swing back his way. Plenty of time. Goes to the 2.5x open with the Queen Deuce. Jack 9's in with the defend for Constantin.
Ace 8 flop. Secondly check. 10 spades on the turn.
A real fun turn card. Constantin now going to go with the lead. Snap raise in position from Keith. Don't mind it at all. Looks very strong once we check back flop.
Snap raise. Bad ball. Yes, it's 10 this time. It's a spades again. And snap fold. And if you do want to come and join in the fun here in Coventry, it is incredible this week. The UK Open. We're right down to the bottom of page 1. Already numbers 500 in the Mystery Bounty. 501 in the Mystery Bounty. 912. In the mini. Just been incredible. Satellites well attended, plenty going on. But now we're on to the final week of the UK Open, and tomorrow is the start. The 1500 main events. There's also the high roller going on as well this week. There's plenty going on to get involved with if you fancy it. Plenty of chances to get involved in the million guaranteed tournament. That is going to be an absolute corker. Looking forward to this and the next 6 days of live streaming. Back to the table. Constantin. And the bottom pair.
Nice opportunity for Keith to get some chips back here. Can he find the value though, Tower? Once again, what I spoke about, heads up, value betting thresholds. Be a lot wider. Queens here, try and target a 6 or 7, or maybe offer some ace high, king high with a diamond.
So 60 bigs for Constantin, 40 for Keith. Not had the lead yet, Mr. Keith Littlewood. See, flop, king, deuce, 4, 2 spades. And then flop.
Definite stat for Constantin. I feel like when check 2, 8 high, fold out. 10 highs, jack highs, queen highs without a spade. Let's get the 9 higher keep out there.
Minutes gone of level 2.
I can't remember, who was it that won the wheel spin for the seat into the...
Are you asking me?
Because we're going to have to look out for him this week.
We are. Our chat though, Razor Kev, the policeman, he's the Razor Kev, he's there, he'll tell us. Who won it? I know Kenny Billups was second.
Kenny Billups, well, I'm guessing it's Kenny Billups because there's a car in the car park with a number plate that's BILLUPS.
That's Kenny.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I can't remember who won it. We'll have to find out because we're going to have
I
to.
can't remember who won it, but I do remember. I do remember. Where was we?
Was it John Perkins?
No.
No. It was a red tooth legend, the chat said.
It was.
I can't remember. Who was it that won the UK Open CPK on the wheel?
Have you not got yours?
No, because I didn't put it on the spread because it was a name and date of birth, wasn't
Oh, right, yeah. Who was it? Just trying to think. It might have been Manchester. It must have been Manchester. When did we do the giveaway?
it? Yeah, Manchester.
So the giveaway was Manchester on the Sunday. So it must have been. We've not done anything since. What have we done since Manchester?
Not anything.
Must have been last week. Anyway, I've seen Kenny Billups. I've seen Kenny Billups.
Still not solved the mystery.
I say, hey, Kenny, unlucky in the free roll. He says, I know, I can't believe it. So we're right, sweating all 2-1, blah blah blah. Guy at the bar went, I won it. And I went, you won it. He says, Kenny, you won it. He says, I won it. I still can't remember his name.
Jonathan Whale.
Ah,
There you go.
Johnny Whale. And he was stood at the bar while Kenny was talking about getting beat on the wheel.
I'm going to have to track Johnny's progress this week in the main event.
Jonathan Whale. Thank you very much indeed. Chat, we're a bit slow today.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't even the chat either.
Must be watching Emmerdale. Check over. Making it up, see a free flop here. The Queen 5 and the Jack 4. King 6 deuce. On to the next key for the pocket pair. Evening JG.
Hey then, JJ.
Just cashed in the mini. Time to spin. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Didn't hear that the bubble had gone.
It's quite a bubble.
Was a quiet bubble. Thought we hadn't heard that. Here is Jonathan Whale in the chat. Travelling up Thursday, playing Friday, looking forward to playing. We'll pop in and say hello. Of course it's okay, John.
How are we doing, Sally?
Sally, so.
Let's have a look, Kev. Looking for satellites into the main on Thursday.
27th.
Yeah, just the one at 9 p.m. If you fancy an earlier cash out satellite, probably be earlier on in the week. Yeah. Oh, there's one tonight at 7 p.m.
There's been quite a few. There's been quite a few.
We are here on a Tuesday, Sally. 6 days of streaming for the UK Open. Tuesday through to Sunday. Mil guarantee on the main. Heads Up Championship. First stream of the festival for us.
Hey, Sally, so. Hope you are well. We're here on a Tuesday, 6 days for the UK Open, the big one. We've also got the Six Max final tomorrow as well.
Big hand for Constantin. Heads up, pocket tens. We'll go for big juicy free bet here. Keith, king 9 off against this size. Probably wouldn't be continuing. Suited probably gets in. Let's let it go. How many in the heads up, says Sally. Won't you need hundreds of tables? We started online. They played it online down to the final 4, and then we have the final 4 here live on stream. There we go. We have Yazoo and Dan Stancer on the outer table playing their semi-final, and then the final will be best of 3. So winner of this facing the winner of Yazoo versus Dan. Button Constantine goes for limp. Keith checking option with the 8-4, 9-7 deuce rainbow. Keeps Constantine in front. Could have been one that Keith could have potentially stabbed with some 8 interaction. Feel like really good hand to start stabbing now. Fold out just some random queen deuce, queen 3, queen 4, some king highs, even some 8 highs. Gonna have a tough time continuing. But Constantine, dummy and gut shot and king high. Do get that out of there.
Six minutes of this level, second level of the day. Just 20 minutes, but plenty of time and plenty of action with it just been heads up.
Queen 9 for Keith. Raises to 1k. Constantine dominated with the queen 8. Does defend.
Ace 7-3.
Probably just a board that Keith C bets relentlessly. Expect that to be that. Is there any Tuesday night treble tower with there being some midweek fixtures?
No. No. Midweek fixtures, midweek Premier League apparently.
I've gone for a punt tonight in me FPL.
Go on.
I've brought in Palmer.
Oh,
Palmer.
All
I've
right.
had to wiggle my team around. I've
Yeah.
got Beto up front now. But
nice.
Beto for Wood. And then I brought Palmer in so I can avoid Palmer, and I've captained him against Southampton.
All right, okay.
So it's a big punt for me this evening on the football. A nice flop for Keith. After checking this one back in the big blind, kind of fruity. Does keep in some dominating stuff, as we see there. Gets the bet out of Constantin. What rank am I, Sally? You don't want to know. There's that many zeros at the end of it. I think I'm in the millions. Oh, sweet. I'm all right. Curtis is here. He's Captain Palmer. And Mr. Luckbox himself is never wrong, so we should be fine this week. Oh no, overall I am 5.8 million.
5.8 million.
Yeah, that's out of everyone that plays it though. It's not that bad. Nearly 8 billion people in the world, Tower. That's like
Oh, yeah, that's true.
top 0.001%. 4 hearts on the turn. 7-5 still good for Constantine. Looking for a bet from Keith. Doesn't get it. Keith gets a lovely looking river. Straight on the ends. And going to be going for some value and gets paid. And just like that. Nearly back where we started.
Nearly. There's only 5.9 million players, and 100,000
that's-
of them haven't touched the team all season.
That's not true. There's more than 5.9 million. I can't be that low down. There has to be more than 5.9
that'd be
million.
funny. Imagine.
There you are. Total players at 11.3 million.
Nine, 6 jacks. So both flopping a pair. Second pair of that.
Ooh, dangerous card. Going to be a lot of chops on rivers, but with this jack pair in here, both going to feel comfortable about their hands. There is the one that chops it up. Queen of diamonds on the end, and Constantine now going to go for some value of his own. Chop it up. Queen 7 suited for Keith. Raise and take.
You won this time, well done. You folded against the guy that time. First time you folded, ever.
I have 2 hands in a row, 7 deuce, 9 deuce.
So heading towards the next level.
Especially only one hand you folded that.
Oh, it's 2 in a row.
I was going to
Both settled in now, having a chat amongst themselves. 40 minutes in to the heads up. Nines for Keith. An ace queen for Constantine, and at 50 effective, Tower. This is definitely one that could be getting in pre.
Here we go.
And there
This
you
is
have
it.
it.
This could be the last hand of the heads up now.
Yeah, well, either way, even if Constantine loses this, he's left with 2 big, so essentially a flip for the win right here and now. 9s for Keith, Ace Queen for Constantin. And there's a lady.
Unbelievable.
7.
Unbelievable.
Runners for a spades turn, so down to 2 nines. Otherwise, this first semi-final is over.
And it is. Constantin with the ace queen takes all the chips.
I think
9s against ace queen. Just going to check them, they said. We could be waiting for the. If we did say it, we will get the other 2 players on. If this one's over, Keith has got him. Constantin has got him. Keith is out in 4th or 3rd. 4th. Same money. They got the same dosh. There we go, £1,780. So, literally, a couple of minute break. We'll grab some
Cup of tea?
Grab old Bob for some tea.
Yeah, we'll go get some tea.
Grab old Bob for
Tea
some
and
tea.
water.
For old tea, and we'll fill that up. And the other 2 will be back in 2 minutes on this TV table. So we'll keep it going, we'll keep the pictures on. Just get rid of my ugly mug, but we'll have a chat. So here we go. Bringing him straight back, straight in.
C3's done. C7 usually. Button's going to be in C3. I'm not sure if the stats are really on. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, of course. We're going to rewind the podcast.
Which one is this?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you're back at 3 and 6. Best of luck.
I think Mike said once.
So here we go. Yu Zhao Yin on the right hand side and Daniel Stancer on the left. Let's do it again. So they're already 27.8 against 12. Straight over to our table. Cheers, my man. First hand. Yu Zhao Yin with 12k with the blinds at 3-6. He's out. Check on a flop. 7-8 jack. He's out. Flopping best.
So two very good players here. Both with very nice resumes. Actually, Dan, just having a look at his, he's off the back of a 60 million and 142 million win.
Whoa, I tell you what.
over on the Asian Poker Tour. So an 8-figure score and a 9-figure score, both first places. So Dan's last two tournament cashes, he won heads up.
Very nice. They do say it's a phone game, you know?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But just looking down Dan's database, he has played heads up countless times, 20 plus times as you, 14 times in his pretty short career so far. Heroes that one off with a 7 after Dan electing to bluff with the 10-5.
And there we go, back to levels.
What'd you do to my old mate One Push, Eddie Johnson?
Oh, Eddie, he come and said hello yesterday.
He said hello. What'd you say to him?
I'll probably hello back.
No, you told him he's going to cash in the mini.
I did.
Yeah. So what's he obviously not going to do once you say that?
No, he always cashes. He's like 6 of 6, isn't he, on One Push?
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's obviously cashed.
He's in the money. He told me
Is
to
he?
come and tell you that you boxed him, but he's in the money, the One Push.
He always gets in the money. He's like 100%.
Yeah.
He's
What?
the only person I know.
One bullet, one cash, always.
Yeah. He did come over and say hello, I must admit. Top lad, old One Push.
Queen 7-3. It's going to be folded as you do. Dan gets it through with the king high. Jack 9 of clubs for Yazoo on the button. Making it 1200. Dan dominated with the Jack 5, in with a call. Interesting flop. Dan flops up and down, but basically drawing dead to a chop. Yazoo with bottom and an up and down of his own. Nice one to check behind. As I said, drawing dead basically to a chop, but we did have this avenue as Dan backdoor diamonds available with his 5 of diamonds working. Potentially seen some leads as a bluff, fold out some ace high. Potentially some stuff like 6s, 7s, deuces, 3s. Takes a free one as Dan and
Yes, there. With the 5 of diamonds.
not choosing to value bet. River flush and Yazoo probably just wants to show down here with a 9. Difficult to dislodge bet up, so just going to take the showdown and see after flopping. Dan almost dead. Found that avenue to get out of it in a small pot. Let's do some that. Raise on the button. 7-3 off in the muck for Yazoo. Six of Hearts always going to be getting continued heads up. Starts the hand at between 25 and 30. May even start playing some limps at this stack depth, but just going to raise up the 8-6, raise and take. It's the Sphinx in the building.
Oi, oi, the Sphinxy. Another one that cashes a lot when he plays. His nickname's the Grinder. Sphinxy. Usually on the rail, but when he plays, he always seems to cash. As you can see there, they're all on the break in the minute. Unbelievable numbers. 912 in the £340 minute. Incredible numbers. Evening, Stephen. Stephen King watching on Face It.
Freeze here. May even be one that could complete. He's just going to go for the jam for the lot. Dan with King Jack of Hearts here. Interesting for him, but this is a big old jam. It's 27 sent in the middle by Yazoo, so like interesting to think how we're even going to range Yazoo here. What hands does he just want to open for 27? Because he's not going to like goal in with like Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace Jack. It looks a lot like what it is. Small pocket pair, deuces, threes, fours, maybe some like Queen Jack suited type stuff. The big open send. Complete from Dan, check from Yazoo, probably. Not much for Uber, 10 high, best. Right round this 5 is Dan. They fancy a stab with 6 high. They'll take a freebie, which is kind of an interesting one. 10 of spades working now for Yazoo. Dan turns up and down with a 6-4. I feel like as Dan have checked to, like our hand probably wants the bet. We'll be getting the fold, always folding our bet up. No, goes with the check back again.
3 of Hearts on the river.
Now we're wishing we bet the turn.
What a juicy turn and a beautiful river.
As Yazoo 10 high, fold out, better 10 highs, some king high, ace high stuff, perhaps what he's thinking. Decides just good enough to show down, but not going to be able to. Looks like an overbet, 1500 into 12. Evening, Carl Lakeland.
Good evening, Carl. Are we doing the minute after this or just the heads up? We are just doing the heads up. Heads up final, when we get there, will be best of 3. So it could be all 3. You just never know. So the final will be best of 3. That's it for, obviously, for today. And then back tomorrow with a 6-match final and then the minute final or however many are left in that one at 5:20. So there should be a bit of a gap in between to quickly run to Subway.
I really hope you don't actually run like that.
I don't run. Do you think I run?
That was closer to swimming than running.
2 things in that sentence never make sense. Running and salad.
Subway made sense though. That part. That part was correct. And Dan just...
Running? You stop running when you get past your 20s.
That is true.
You do. Stop. That's it. No need anymore. You've done enough. You get to 30, it's like, run. Not in my vocabulary anymore. Done. With the race.
Big bet from Yazoo, raise from Dan with the top pair.
Yeah, so however long this lasts, and then the final, there'll be a quick break, around 10-15 minutes, I guess, just to get them settled in, and then the heads up. Final will be best of 3.
King 7 here. That is it. Raise up to 12 and down with the ace 9. 22 effective, start the hand, jabs it in.
Back to where we were, and then we flip them over from table 2. Oh, Wobbit. Those things, my friend. Well, should be, to be fair, you're skiving, isn't he? Oh, I'm only saying. Busy out there today, pal. Busy out there today. 320 odd in the turbo. Finish in 10 minutes. Oh, we might just have to get another cup of tea. Mine to the empty house. Bob! Oh, your tea's great, you see. Love it. That feeling coffee. Mine's 300, 600. Second semi-final. Other one is finished. Constantin Erhan will be in the final, waiting what the winner of this one.
Check over to Yazoo, just 10-4 here. Does have 2 backdoor straight draws. Perhaps dislodges some better 10 highs and jack highs. King highs always want to be continuing though, as Dan does here.
Six of spades turn.
We do jump in front of some hands now as Dan. Some 3x that Yazoo may elect to bet. Not really too much going on here now for Yazoo, as this is just going to be a shutdown. I prefer to at least have some sort of equity, a gut shot, and just drawing dead to Queen X, Ace X. Feel like white flag in order. Let's check it behind. 6 for Dan. Funky way to get there, but we don't mind.
Good after it, 10 out, wouldn't he? surely handbrakes on sure if he gets called on the floor.
Yeah, like Dan gets the value bet queen here as well, so I think something very keen, like you just value bet queen doos for chopping with the ace X, so I'd be surprised if 10 high hero this spot. We might even lose to some bluffs and jack high perhaps, and although jack 10 may just take showdown. I was thinking about it, the old 10-4 looks like it's going to hero, so feels like going to be up against a lot of this 4-5, 4 deuce, 5 deuce, block some of that holding before. But I feel like when Dan gets the value bet and ace, he gets the value bet queen. And like every single one of them too. I feel like there's just going to be a whole host of value in there for Dan. Some bluffs obviously. So he pays it off.
Constantin. Talking about the background of the guys online, but we know they're down to the final 4.
Just jams for Yazoo here. Ace 8 off. Line's about to go up. 18 bigs.
You know his wins in Asia, and you wanted to bring it all home in dollars.
Yep.
How?
I don't know. I guess you have to have a plane just for your money.
I've got extra luggage. What's in it? Money. 142 million. 944,400. And the 8PT at full clock, in full cock, at the Asian Poker Tour. Amazing.
Dan. Not much going on for Yazoo. Does a 3 to straight, 3 to flush. Does actually turn the best of it in the form of a 4. Got a ball here for Dan. Looks like it's going to start firing here. Sorry, not even a gutter for Dan. Just raggy old jack high. I guess we do have a lot of cards on the river we can potentially bluff on.
Line level 480.
Does get Yazoo off the best of it after turning bottom. So blinds are up, guys, 4 and 8 now, so going to be shallower than what the graphic just said. I think it's around 14 bigs for Yazoo. We're going to be playing now. We'll have some open jams, a strat. Still will be able to play some opens and limps. Not quite shallow enough yet to just play all in fold.
I mean, with the 8s. We'll look for the 4-3.
Yeah, I think 8s is one towel that actually raise calls at this stack depth. 15 to start the hand, just shy of. I feel like it's too good to open jam. Maybe one that prefers raise calling. Going to jam. And it's a snap call from Dan. He's
Here
got
we
pocket
go.
6s.
8s. Didn't get any action. Now got 6s. We could be on to the final. Chip leader again. In front. 6s for Dan Stanza. Does he stay in front?
At the moment, yes. Additional 2 outs picked up for Yazoo in the form of a 3. Kings and 3s needed.
Turn is a 9. No help. The king or a 3 needed. Oh, we're on to the final. And it's 2. Just like that. We are on to the heads up final. Well done, Dan Stanza. Going to be playing Constantin Erhan very, very shortly. It's a 10-minute break. So we'll just get ourselves ready for the heads up. Get a cup of tea. I think Bob's just decided to not, it's like. We will be back for the UK Heads Up Championship live, best of 3 in 10 minutes. Come and join us. Rivered. Brendan McManus. Just finishing in 7th place for £13,840, and it's time to take breath from that hand.
You could have run through all the guesses of David's hand. It would have taken a while to get to what he actually had, Tower. The old 9-4 razzled him from the big blinds. And as we said, I think lead on the river's really good from David. I personally would have folded turn against Brendan, but once we do call turn and we ping that 9, I feel like we have to lead, whether it be all in or a different size. It's just one of these rivers Brendan's going to check back high frequency.
We'll see you back in 13 in a little bit minutes with 6 players. Brendan just been eliminated in a bit of a whopper. See ya soon. So King 7 for John. Do we open more or less everything, or just at least see a flop?
Well, we can limp with some traps as Ravi's
Whoa,
done
what's that
here,
mean?
and the trap has worked.
Wow, well done, Ravi.
Jean Zhuang just shoves the King 7 for 17, 18 big blinds, effective. Ravi calls with the Ace 9. He was trapping.
So Ravi with the Ace 9, perfect. Ace 7 deuce doesn't change anything. King or a 7 still needed for Jun Shan to be champ.
Still got backdoor spades working as well. But Ravi looking like a double.
Oh no! 7 on the turn!
7
on
the turn!
Oi, oi, oi! Fading an ace. Oh, has he done it? He's only got to dump the ace on the river. How's he managed that?
How does that even happen? How does it come a 7 on the turn and an ace on the river? What on earth was that? Ravi Chef.
Whoa!
Tao was thinking about the Super Bowl. I'm thinking about Miss Stara Brahman.
Oh my word!
And next thing you know,
the 7 on the turn.
Run like Ravi indeed. It looked over on that turn card, and the ace spikes the river. 2 outer for Ravi Chef. 95% of the time, Zhong Juan is a champion after that turn.
Wow.
But we continue.
Evesham. I just know that Worcestershire's down the M5.
Tom Clack with the gun open. Oh wow, Mad Turk, Ace King here in the hijack, and it's gone open from Tom Clack. Mad Turk with the Ace King here. I'm probably just going to 4-bet. Don't need to go too large. And there it is from Usel. Makes it 130k. And he's not going to be folding when Adam 5-bet rips here. Not putting in this amount of our stack to let it go as Usel. So we're going to have a huge one here, Tower.
So here we go.
And there's the all in, and I don't see how the Mad Turk gets away from this once he makes it 130. I'm going to use a few time banks, but we put in a decent proportion of our stack here, Tower. We're getting 207k to win 572, so we're getting like 2.7 to 1 on a call here as you sell. So we're going to need about 28% equity. So if Adam actually showed us his hand, like, we'd still have to call. It says 18%, but that is accounting for an ace in the muck. But the Mad Turk is going to save some chips and potentially save his tournament. You sell him an Oglu, getting away from the Ace King.
Good fold.
Nice laydown
Yep.
from the Mad Turk. I thought he was done for Tower after he put in that proportion of his stack, but finds a way to get away. To see, haven't seen him much today. Aces. Opens in the hijack.
The old boots.
Sam calls small blind. Andy's in on the button. Neil with 9-6 of spades. Defence.
Top pair for Sam. Middle pair for Andy Bradshaw.
Yeah, no checking four-way for you in here. Feel like just always betting. Heads up, maybe one we can check ace of diamonds, but as soon as we go multi-weight, always continuing here with the boots.
Andy Bradshaw calls.
Continues for third. Andy calls with his 5. Sam should be overcalling here, getting 5 to 1 with the 10. Gonna go for the old raise. I feel like in this spot, when Ewan once again bets into Phil Tower, I say it a lot when we go 4-5 way, the players with ace king, ace queen, like the high cards, don't tend to see bet into 3 or 4 players. So as soon as they do continue, like they're more weighted towards a hand, whether it be 6s through 9s, whether it be 10x, whether it be an overpair. And obviously against all the 10x that Ewan opens, other than a couple of combos and the overpairs, we're just toast here with Sam. So may have just gone for call in this given scenario. Like heads up, slightly different. Like then maybe we can start raising some top pairs for value against the late position open. Mr. Bradshaw in with the overcall as well, looking to snag 2 pair or trips on the turn.
Jack of diamonds. The diamond draw's no good. The Bradders.
Yeah, but Sam, this is kind of interesting now. This is an intriguing spot. We now turn top 2, but after this action occurring on the flop, you've got to be wary that at least Andy has a flush here once he calls and then overcalls the raise. I'm going to be really worried about this Andy Bradshaw range. I know we can see he's up to no good with 8-5 off, but it's kind of intriguing. So Sam continues for 5k. Ewan makes the call, and Andy now says, I'm all in, and oh my word, he's turned it into a bluff. He has turned it into a bluff, and the way he slammed his chips in there, you just think he's strong, right, Tower?
That's what you'd expect. That's the way he wants you to believe it.
Is he going for the old reverse towel? Like the old I don't care, have me chips usually means that someone's strong, but Andy Bradshaw throwing in the old reverse towel here, drinks the water as well. Acting as comfortable as can be now. And what you do is Sam, because we still got Ewan behind us who still can have flushes as well. The ace X of diamonds all in Ewan's range, king queen of diamonds, king 9 of diamonds all still there. And now Sam, this is gross with the jack 10.
Can he ever?
With everything Andy's giving off Tower, I like. He may sell the reverse towel here. He actually may. He may just let this go, Sam. Think this guy, what is he supposed to have? He's called Ewan C-bet. We've then raised. Ewan's called, and he overcalls. Like it looks like a flush, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
This is going to be fun.
If Sam calls us, you get out of the way.
No, Ewan don't fold his hand, but this is what I'm saying. It's going to work out. Look, now Ewan with aces, ace of diamonds, just not going to fold, right? Getting this price.
Nope.
Even if Andy, I know if Andy got the flush, we've only got 12.7 back. Okay, so we're not actually calling to win 40. Let me figure this out. So difference of 3.5 in stacks. So there's 36.7 to win for you, and so he's actually getting 3 to 1. So he needs 25% equity, and assuming we can hit 9 diamonds here. Well, let's say we need 7 diamonds because Andy's repping a flush 2.5% with 1 card to come. So we're actually getting like 18, 19%.
Dan's in seat 3, Constantin in seat 7. Am I redrawing for a little bit? Yeah. Yeah, back to 1 2 I imagine. 6 4 8
We'll play 4-8, we'll be out here.
Here we go. Heads up championship final. Best of 3. Good luck. So Dan Stanza on the left and Constantin Erhan on the right. Well done for these two making it through online to start with, and their semi-final live in the club. Well, heads up best of 3. Enjoy.
Okay, guys, so this is going to be a best of 3. In between each one, there will be a
20-minute clock
and a redraw for the seats. Whoever wins this first match will draw first for the seat in game 2.
Well, if you win first game, there's a redraw.
Yes, so best of 3. So first to win
Redraw?
2 games. Yeah, it could be.
Redraw.
There's a redraw after the first game for the seats.
For the seats.
Yeah.
Why not just draw for the button?
I don't know, I have no idea.
Because it's the same thing.
That's what you just said. Why move them?
No, he's trolling you. They've got to be trolling us.
He's just said there's a redraw for the seats after the first game. Just redraw the button.
Yeah, that's what I think most would do, Tal, but there we are.
Here we go. Final. Good luck, everybody.
You must have heard it wrong.
I might have heard it
I feel
wrong.
like you've heard it wrong.
Dan Stanza, Constantin Erhan. Blinds 100, 200. I love it. Johnny Brown says he 100% said that.
Great, 5.
6-match final going to be streamed tomorrow from 12:20. Then there'll be a break and then the final of the mini. So 2 streams tomorrow.
It's 500.
King 5 for Constantine. Still in front on Ace Jack 10. Let's have this gut shot interaction. Going to see that hand over.
Great, 500.
Raised to 500. It was from Dan with a 10-5. See a flop. 7, 8, 3.
Back 4. Raise 1.3. Pass.
6-4-3 flop. Top pair for Dan. Redraws for Constantin with the club. And now with an 8. And a 5 to go with his 7 on the flop. But plenty of outs. Should be a better call.
Great, it's 2,000.
Wow.
Well, better to raise. Yeah. Not better to call.
Yeah, look at this, and getting Dan to fold as high up as a 6 heads up, so putting the pressure on as Constantine does get Dan to just let go of a 6 there.
Down with the 10 deuce. The old Doyle.
Big hand for Constantine, couple of 10s, but doubt we're going to be taking it to the streets. Not really the hand we're going to want to continue even with position as Dan into the muck.
Heads up battle. Started online, got down to the final 4. We're now heads up for the title. Best of 3. This is the first game. If you're just tuning in, welcome along. Something different for the team.
How about this for a flop up and down for Dan?
Oh, yes.
Flush draw for Constantine.
Could be juicy.
2 overcards for both as well. And straight in with the check raise here. On the 2-3-4. I feel like with the King 5 it's difficult to fold out worst tower because the ace highs will be continuing with the wheel draw and overs. I guess we fold out some better King highs, King 10, King Jack, this type of stuff, but just trying to leverage this board as the caller from the big blind. But Constantine's still going to open 5-6, still going to open 4-3, heads up, super wide ranges. 10 of spades turn. Dan going for the second barrel here, and Constantine, assume we're just going to play flat. We got position 2, and is Dan going to unload this on the river tower? It's quite interesting because it does look like Constantine will just have a lot of one pair hands.
Oh, he do it. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't now.
Yeah. This is trouble. Is this going to be round 1 over? Or is Dandy going to be able to find the bet fold here, Tower? That is the question.
Half pot, he's gone. 4.2.
It's so sick because Constantine could just have a 5 as well. And it's just the spot that's going to be so infrequently bluffed here. Like, if you're Constantine, where are you finding bluffs from on this river? Like, people are just not going to take like an ace 4 with the ace of spades, something along those lines, and just turn it into a bluff here. So therefore, if we start saying our opponent's probably never got a bluff in this situation, that literally leaves him with value, and he's never shoving a hand worse than ours. So there we go. Dan's figured it out. Heads up. It's kind of interesting because we never expect Constantine to have a bluff because we can have a lot of 5x's played. So therefore, it just comes down to, do we beat value? And I guess we're chopping at best, and Dan's just figured it out. Great fold, sir. Keeps himself in this first round.
Big fold, heads up.
But maybe it's just an assumption that's been made from Dan. We saw the fold from the 6 when Constantine check raised the gut shot. Dan just quickly folded second pair. Maybe Dan's gone in with his strategy. He believes that Constantin going to be under bluff in a lot of spots, so therefore we can overfold. Done very well not to do a lot. Now already a 3-1 chip lead. This pot should be going Dan's way.
Evening, Gary. You nearly saw it.
How you doing with gaffers?
All good, Gary. Looking forward to this week in the big 100k guarantee. It is a cracking tournament, cracking festival. Really is. Numbers have been super already.
Deuce, got a shot for Constantin. Just going to continue as he open up. Dan out of the way with the king high.
Evening, guys. To Sabre here, Bass. Once again, thanks for the £50 token. Played a 50 bounty, 8 bounties, and finished 11 for 745 quid. Well done.
Well
Plus
done,
88 in bounties.
That's what we like to hear. Hope that makes up for scaring your cat all those times.
Nice one. Well done. And Mitch Einem is chip leader in the LAPC Classic. 10,000 entry. He is on form. 88 pound in bounties and 745 quid. 833 pounds from a free £50 ticket for watching the stream. Gary McGeffney didn't get his token. Don't start with that.
Didn't win one, I don't think.
He actually did.
Did he?
Aye. He actually did on the Friday.
Huh?
Didn't get his token. But that would have been your fault.
Why would it have been my fault?
No, not yours.
Oh.
Gary's. His name would have been wrong. We'll check the spreadsheet and then we'll send a message to Tom. We'll get the spreadsheet open sometime tomorrow and we'll let you know. We're both made up for it. You've got yourself £833. Very nice indeed. The stream tonight is the Heads Up Championship that was started online. We got down to 4, we played the semis, and now this is the final, best of 3. So, could be done in 3 hands, could be done in 3 hours. And then back tomorrow for the 6-match final at 12:20, and then a break, and then back for the mini-main final.
So Dan's still good with the pair of 8s. Flush draw to go alongside it. Rivers a 2 pair. Probably has to go on the value hunt here. It looks like a lot of king high stuff. Even some river queens in there for Constantin, some queen highs looking for showdown perhaps. Not going to be getting any from Jack 9, I don't think. But we don't expect king high to bet. We don't expect Jack 10 to bet. We expect these to look for showdown, but be a bit optimistic. Constantin, let's let it go.
20-minute blinds. These are the first blinds at 100, 200.
I like this from Dan, little stab with the 5 high, it seems good, folding out better. Like here, for example, 10-5 and not into the muck for Constantin. Gonna float one here, Tao, with the old 10-5. Must have some ideas in mind, but like, we just have to check fold turn now, so it's kind of intriguing, this float from Constantin, because Dan has to barrel now, not low, but up and down, and now what do we do? Can't raise, can't call, so leaves us with fold, right? He's called flop. Has he got some ideas? Oh, he has.
This guy's playing.
Yeah, and dependent on size, 2.7k here. Dan does have position. This is kind of interesting with 5-3 hearts tower. Like, if we're calling here, we have to bluff river when check 2. Like, we can't call here to knuckle back 5 high. Like, we can still have a king, so Constantin could potentially shut it down on rivers when out of position. So if Constantin does give up here, which I doubt he will after check raising 10 high on the turn, but Dan can still comfortably have a king here tower, so have to bet this river. If we're calling turn getting that price, we have to have ideas on rivers, and there you go.
Well, going to be in the opposite way around.
Does fire up and gets a nice few chips back. Nice little hand there.
First level of the final of the best of 3 heads up championships that started online. King 7-9 flop, as far away from these 2 holdings as possible.
But the 5 high stab should be working. Dan's got many ideas with the 3-2 suited, but we did just see that hand with the 10-5 from Constantin. Is Dan going to throw in some spice of his own? Yes, he is. How about timing as well? Constantin, stone cold bottom of his range. And like, you can do all the talk you want about combos and better hands to raise there as a bluff, but when you're sat there in game and sort of you're feeling it and game flow, like, you just maybe find these little spots regardless of your hand and combo where you just think, okay, I don't think he's got much, we're just going to go for a little raise here, old school street poker. See a lot more of it heads up. I don't think the 3-2 suited is going to be one that ever raises there, but in game, if Dan feels that Constantin's oversee betting these boards or he's picked up on something, then by all means get after it.
And now he's on 15,000. Yeah, flop king 10-4, down the bottom. It's from Constantin with the 7s, still the best on the turn of a 3 of hearts. check mark for the sevens. Does Dan try and nick it?
No, just check. I think it's out too thin for Dan to be going for value with a 4, in my opinion. Like, unless we target specifically a 3, but are we trying to fold out a 10? It's kind of interesting. Not sure about this one. One of those where really hard to get called from worse. Does he feel like a 3's going to pay? Do we not prefer to bluff catch? Either way, picked off by Constantin with the walking sticks.
With the walking sticks.
Lines up next hand. Constantin just in with the freeze for 30 bigs. Done with the fold.
Heads up. Blinds 2-4. Checks the old 760 is 7 on the flop, 7 queen 2, but all spades. So checks for the king of diamonds turn.
Start hunting for some value. Not going to be getting any.
Nothing in the muck. There you go. Bigs, 32 bigs, lines 2-4. Seven-nine flop for both of them.
Yeah, could be problems for Constantin here, Tower. Top pair versus top pair, heads up poker. Could see a big pot. Dan does kick off with a bet for 800. Constantin, with 9 of spades on board, looks like is just going to send the lot into the middle.
Here we go.
And Dan in terrific shape here. Love what he sees. We've got some running chops, but just fading a 9 here to get the double and be ahead of round 1 of the final. Well, that's a little bit sweaty.
Any 8s playing with any 9s. Dan sees a safe queen on the river to double up and be chip leader. Stacks changing over, 25.6 to 14.
Constantine opens to 8. Quick call from Dan with the 10-8. Both catching a piece. Middle for Constantine. Bottom with dummy and gut shot for Dan. Both happy to check to the turn. 6 of clubs. Constantine now going to go on the value hunt here with his second pair. Pair and gut shot of our own as Dan heads up. Against half, going to have to come along and see a river card.
We're in the 5 of clubs.
That's Constantine. How thin does he want to go for value here? Does he feel like we can extract from a 10? Interesting thing as well, the 7 actually plays, so he sort of Jack 5, Jack 4, Jack 3 to get paid from, as well as the 10x. 1700 on the end here. And now Dan with a hand that might actually have some interest in raising once in a while, with third and the straight block up. No club in there. He's just going to hero. And we're back to neck and neck.
Indeed. Not bad. Some could have been out with a 5 on that river. Taking the straight.
Exactly, Tower.
Could have been a lot of people's downfall. Calling.
Yeah, would have been 1-0 Constantine if Dan didn't find the hero fold early on in the heads up. Made a straight on the river against the turn flush of Constantine and managed to get away with it without going broke. That is definitely the hand to remember. Bottom for Dan. Constantine just with king high. Ace high board as the opener. It's going to continue. Still would be coming along as Constantine here with the king 8. That is going to fold. Just let Dan have it. Ace high boards, heads up. A lot of king highs do want to be sticking around. Gives Dan credit.
Heads up championship final, best of 3. Dan Stancer on the left, Constantin on the right. Constantin was beat cheerleader and then swapped over. And it's a winner. First time he's been behind. Constantin all day.
Yeah.
Not once was he behind against Keith. Started really well against Dan. And it was just doubled up on him.
Yeah, to be fair, like you say, that's sick fold from Dan. Heads up, folding the straight. Not easy to do. Especially on a board that's 3 to a flush, not 4 to a flush. And there we are.
7,000 to the winner, 3,500 for second. Into the ace high, ace 9.
Oh, an ace 8 for Dan here. Pretty effective to start the hand. Feel like way too much to ever be getting in. But we will see. Dan actually getting the better hand to fold there. Constantine raise folding, ace 9, heads up. Interesting. Dan to 800. Let's get the better hand to fold.
$7,000 to the winner. 3,500 for the runner-up. Lines 200, 400, hand, game 1 of 3. Best of 3 will take the title.
Six five for Dan, makes it 800. Constantin with the Queen Jack at 40. I feel like call seems good. A lot of dominated stuff that opens. Small continue from Dan. Clear check call for Constantin now. Bottom pair gut shot.
Seven of spades river and 2. Even. Constantin with a check mark.
Probably give this one up as Dan. I prefer just having a jack in my hand, a 10, 2 spades, something with some sort of equity. Like drawing dead against a lot of Constantin's range that wants the check call flop. Yeah, this is just white flag away from Dan. I think I kind of like that. Don't need to win every pot. This is our board in terms of range, but still going to be lots of whiffs in there for us, heads up. Constantin opens, then defends 6-5.
Jack 2.
Just probably Constantin's pot. Could just go one big if we wanted to on this board, but I'm going to go for the check back. Maybe feels like looks stronger checking this board than betting. Just the 30 outs for Dan to either chop or get there.
Most of the time, chopping.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting from Constantin, going now for the raise on the turn. Both players with a 5. He feels he can get some value from the deuce. Had that hand earlier where he raised as a bluff. But there is a 9 of clubs, so we'll chop this up. Assuming we get to showdown, which I'm pretty confident we will.
Yeah, check. £250 total, Tim. 250 total. 7,000 to the winner. 3,500 for second. And runner up. Queen 9-5. Constantin flopping better. Ace side flop, ace 8 queen.
First sign of aggression, likely to win this one. Constantine does turn double gutty. So he's going to fire.
And that should do it, show the aggression. Minus 200, 400, just right, 50 bigs each.
Two for Constantine. Be a raise and take. Haven't seen many of them.
Not even closer to start stack again. King 6-5, top pair.
Well, this could be fun, Tower.
Yeah. Open under now for Dan.
Really put some pressure on some 5x, 6x hands and potentially unload on bricks or clubs. But Constantine got a hand that's going to have to check call again, but I'm really hoping to see a brick river because it might make it thoroughly interesting. Because Dan's got a nice one to triple off now, like on bricks, on clubs. I think hearts we just give up, but when we block some stronger King X as well, the King Queen, the King Jack, this type of stuff. Big river coming up here with 8k in the middle. It's a deuce of hearts, not what I'm wanting to see. Because I feel like it is one of these that Dan may elect to shut down on here. To have it as a club with club in hand seems more viable, but the heart, when there's a lot of 10x of hearts, 6x of hearts, sort of 7-8 of hearts, 7-4 of hearts, lots of combo draws out there for Constantine. I think I agree with that check behind from Dan. Not really the river card we're looking for to run the triple.
Lined up. Going to be 3-6.
So
3-6 this hand. 20-minute clock for the heads up final. Six, 6, 2 flop.
Nice turn for Constantin. Top pair. 5 of hearts in hand for Dan. Looks like it's going to put it to work. Fold out some better 10 highs, queen high, king high stuff without a heart. Won't be folding out turn top pair. Well, no, as Dan 10 high, never going to be best. It does feel like he needs to bluff it. Quick call from Constantin. Puts a 2-1 chip lead between the two again. Remember, this is best of 3, so it won't be over whatever happens this first round. Could have been over first 3 minutes.
Yep, you're right.
Dan Stancer made an unbelievable fold correctly on the river. Constantin with the deuce, flopping best, just 9 high for Dan. Checks back the ace queen deuce. Turns best on the 9 of spades turn. Constantin going to go for double the value of for 1 big. Dan with a call.
That's it. 10 of clubs.
Yeah, check from Constantin. Dan way too thin to bet a 9. Just takes his showdown, small one.
Heads up. The championships. Played online to the final 4. We're now at the final. Constantin with the chip lead. Change of dealer. King 6 for Dan. The blind now at 600.
Yeah, get into that territory now, tower, sub 25 effective, where we'll see some potential shoves over opens pre. Just a call for Constantin with the Jack 6 here. Dominated by Dan.
Ace Ace 4 flop.
Constantin throws in 2 chips, calls with Jack high here.
10 of that was turn.
Calling with Jack high to bluff some rivers as Constantin, or just hit the Jack. Why not?
Boom.
Why not do it the hard way? Don't need to bluff now. We get to value bet. And from Dan's perspective, this looks a lot like a 4 tower. I feel like there's going to be a lot of 4x here that just potentially want to go for their value. So king high, nice lay down, gets away correctly.
Down on 21 bigs. First match of potentially 3. Best of 3 it is.
Trips for Dan. Not much going on for Constantin. Just jack high.
8 of clubs on the turn.
Yeah, awkward one, jack high. Would definitely call king high here. Jack high. Slightly too weak.
King 4 suited. Should be a race.
We can defend the jack 3 there as Constantin. Seven deuce, just going to walk down.
Jack 7 for Dan. Raises to 12. Could defend, which he does with the king 6 suited. Oh. Picks up a pair and the flush draw as well.
Yeah, this could be troublesome for Dan because jack 7 with heart here could be one in your head. You're already thinking about sending the barrels in, but Constantin raises, loses customer.
Yeah, that's a big flop.
Just in general, as I always say, these sort of pair flush draw hands are the ones that don't really like doing any raising because the showdown you've got to go with it. Really comfortable calls, but Constantin maybe just happy to run his equity there. That's for Dan. This goes for the call. Maybe looking for the complete jam if Constantin did happen to bump it up, so here we go. Got what we wanted. There it is.
UK Heads Up Championships live after they were played online, so they got down to the semis.
Top 4 Dan at bottom for Constantin. Damien got shot alongside it. King of clubs. Does Dan feel like definitely one that going to be check calling.
There's the Queen on the turn. Juicy board.
How about a bluff here now as Constantine with the 10-9, but I feel like if Dan leads, maybe one that could bluff when it's checked. One that maybe we just show down the 10.
Razor Kev, does nap mean not a prayer?
Towers nap, yeah.
Yeah,
Not a prayer.
if it's my nap, definitely not a prayer. As the Razor Kev arms.
What's he done with his arms? I know he hurt his back.
Yeah, good effort, like that, I like that, I like that. Dry.
Saying that, I've hurt my neck this week. Today, actually.
What were you doing?
I was,
No, look at me.
I was doing some exercise. Little kickabout football. Well, I say a little kickabout. My first action.
Did you move away from the cars?
Yeah, of course we did. My first action was a header, and it was also my last action. It's just
turn to me one more.
so bit of a bat. I always do my neck in.
Tell you, when you get to 30,
Yeah, it just goes.
exercise, running,
Yeah.
forget it. Hey dear. I don't know.
It's bad though.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Weird. Supposed to hit it with your forehead.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it landed on the top of my head because the sun was in my
that's
eyes.
it.
Yeah, the sun was in my eyes, so it's obviously knocked my head down a bit.
It has. The vertebrae's gone. Head down. Douche. There's Queen Jack flop. Dan flopping best this time. There's a Queen.
Flush draw now for Constantine. Kind of an interesting one because need to be thinking about what we're trying to dislodge. Do we fold a jack heads up? That is kind of the question here that would tell me whether to barrel or not. If we think that Dan is folding some jack X, then maybe we do like to barrel. We feel like he is going to call a jack. Maybe just taking our equity to the river seems fine. But look at the run out we get.
Unbelievable. Too many high boards. Full ring would have been carnage.
Yeah, so now we river the flush, but obviously double paired, losing to ace X, losing to queen X, and Constantine just going to take his showdown with the rivered flush. Back to a 2-1 chip lead over Dan Stanza. For the first time, I'm going to hit the 800 level in 5 minutes. Two prompt semi-finals. Ace Queen versus nines. Keith Little with the nines. Constantine with the ace queen, all in pre, just the call up. Was always going to get him 50 effective. Constantine won that flip. And then Dan Stanza versus Yazoo. Mizzou with the king three off, shoved for about 14 into Dan Stance's sixes. That gave Dan victory in the second semi-final. There hasn't really been too many collisions in terms of hands this first round of the final. We saw that Rivered Straight versus Turn Flush early doors where it could have all been over, but Dan recognised he's probably beat, made a terrific fold and still in with a shout round one.
Five 4 for Constantin. Three, 5, 7, flopping best. Burn a win. Coventry, UK Open. Don't forget, plenty of food going on, but if you want a pizza, oh, the North Yorkshire Smokehouse, bingo, bango, bongo. They're the lads that are in the building again. We're here at Goliath a couple of years ago. They were here last year. They've been at all festivals, and I do believe they've now got the pitch at the Coventry City football matches. So the North Yorkshire Smokehouse, they're in the building for the pizzas. Plenty flying round. All really well received for Scott on the team.
Dan barreling away here with the 4. Maybe some triples in mind, trying to dislodge a 9 by the river, but once again, Constantin, seen this a few times, heads up, losing his customer. Ranges are just so wide and bluffs are in there. But like when we have such a big hand, flat could be the avenue. Like we get the value from the King X anyway on the river. That wants to jam for value. We keep the bluffs in as well. A couple of times, potential hands Dan could have barreled off. Constantin choosing to raise. This one just jams. I feel like it's about to go up. Get one more hand in at 3-6.
Yeah, you're in 800, like you said, for the first time. Good evening, the Richie Burner.
How are we doing, Richie Burner?
How are doing, Richie? All things are good.
So sub 8 big blinds now for Dan.
The blinds are up.
Going suited for Constantin. Just going to do a lot of this open rips, and Dan will see he's in great shape here with the Queen Jack. Just the 3 outs for Constantin to find.
Six, 7, 4. Backdoor hearts.
Oh,
Or
just
a
the
9.
9 to potentially seal round 1, fading diamonds and queens.
Diamond, the 4th diamond on the river.
Roller coaster run out.
Go on, Danny boy. Just throwing a few hours at all. Nice one. A lot of people now playing darts. Now it's on every week. Every week it's on.
Big hand for Dan. Just goes for the trap on the bottom with the ladies. And trap may be activated here. Constantin flopsing up and down with the Jack Deuce. Eight of hearts on the turn. Dan probably just looking to go bet here. It's for 2k. Quite going to set up a river jam for pot. Either way, Constantin decides against continuing the Jack 2. Raise and take.
Constantin still lead at 34 bigs. Dan fighting back. Dan stands on the left. Constantin Erhan on the right. Jack high flop, Jack 2. Pairing up. Constantin eating the turn and the redraw.
See the stab as he does.
Excuse me. 7-9 flop, 7-4-3, 2 hearts. Dan with the best redraw. Not now. Constantin with the 10.
Yeah, Dan was obviously going for the check raise, getting on the flop, but now Constantin gets there on the turn. I still feel like Queen 7 going to be best a lot of the time here. 3 of hearts on the river. You feel like Constantine's going to bet a lot of his flush draws with position. So going for value here with the 7. I'm going to be getting called here from Constantine. I don't think there's any merit in raising here, facing this size, 80%. We're not folding top pair as Constantine. Well, he's going to go for the value jam tower. He's going to jam for a bit of value, but do we ever get called by worse? That is the question, and if Queen 7 snap folding, don't think we do.
Constantin down at 8 bigs.
Dan all in with the Queen 4. Constantine finds pocket 10s. Just the 8 bigs for Dan. Moves in. Big hand heads up for Constantine. So Dan gonna need to find
A lady. Sharpish.
Oh!
Oi.
Wasn't expecting that.
That'll do it nicely.
Queen on the turn. And Jack on the river, so Dan will double. I think this actually is third double up in this first round. 3 all in and calls. Constantine has had a chance of victory 3 times. Dan doubling through now. Jack 9 suited. Nice one to jam at this stack depth. Fold out better, good equity when called. Yeah, Richie Boner, best of 3. Be great if they'd done that in actual tournaments. When you get to heads up,
Yeah.
you get a best of 3. You get a chance if you get called or you get unlucky the first time. You still got a chance of winning the tournament.
What about the mystery bounty this week?
I know you said
You've
5
got
hours.
into,
Yeah.
got into 2
Yeah,
days.
yeah, it would have. 5 hours heads up.
10 levels they played. 10. There's Jack 9. First bet will win this one. So Dan fighting on. 3 times of a double. He'll deuce 4. Let's see a flop, please. Well, flopping 2. Well, no, they're not. Constantin, I'm just looking down thinking they've both got a 4. Constantin, oh, now then, Dan. Now then, Dan. Turns best.
Check 9. Gonna take it. Just getting back into this is Dan.
He certainly is. Back up to 13.
One double, suddenly it's us with the 2-1 chip lead.
So heads of championship that was played online, down to the final 4, turned up in Cov, and we're now in the final. Best of 3, this is the first one.
Yeah, for Dan, 16 big blinds sides. It's just good enough. Constantine can't do anything with the 10 deuce.
King 7 for Constantin, says I'm all in.
Dan with the fold.
So we're only getting called by a better for 17. Evening guys, if I want a UK Open seat in the live cash out satellites, do I have to play it or will it become live credit? You will have to pay because I think most of the live satellites are target satellites.
Yep.
We'll back to that because we've got an all in. Constantin with the Queen 10. Dan, double stacks will just reverse if we get a double up with the Ace 3. 4, 5, 9. Doubling up with a minute. And swapping stacks is done. Oh, but not now.
10 on the turn.
Needing an ace or a deuce for a wheel. It's not, it's a jack, so 1-0. 1-0 to the Constantin would do. To the Constantin would do.
So, quick 10-minute break
Is it
for
10,
the
is it?
guys. Quick 10-minute break, and we will be back just after 9 o'clock with second round of the final.
Back
See you soon.
in 10.
To see. Haven't seen him much today. Aces. Opens in the hijack.
The old boots.
Sam calls small blind. Andy's in on the button. Neil with 9-6 of spades. Defence.
Top pair for Sam. Middle pair for Andy Bradshaw.
Yeah, no checking 4-way for you in here. Feel like just always betting. Heads up, maybe one we can check ace of diamonds, but as soon as we go multi-weight, always continuing here with the boots.
Andy Bradshaw calls.
Continues for third. Andy calls with his 5. Sam should be overcalling here, getting 5-1 with the 10. Gonna go for the old raise. I feel like in this spot, when Ewan once again bets into field tower, I say it a lot when we go 4-5 way, the players with ace king, ace queen, like the high cards, don't tend to see bet into 3 or 4 players. So as soon as they do continue, like they're more weighted towards a hand, whether it be 6s through 9s, whether it be 10x, whether it be an overpair. And obviously against all the 10x that Ewan opens, other than a couple of combos and the overpairs, we're just toast here with Sam. So may have just gone for call in this given scenario. Like heads up, slightly different. Like then maybe we can start raising some top pairs for value against the late position open. Mr. Bradshaw in with the overcall as well, looking to snag 2 pair or trips on the turn.
Jack of diamonds. The diamond draw's no good. For the Bradders.
Yeah, but Sam, this is kind of interesting now. This is an intriguing spot. We now turn top 2, but after this action occurring on the flop, we've got to be wary that at least Andy has a flush here once he calls and then overcalls the raise. I'm going to be really worried about this Andy Bradshaw range. I know we can see he's up to no good with 8-5 off, but it's kind of intriguing. So Sam continues for 5k. Ewan makes the call, and Andy now says, I'm all in, and oh my word, he's turned it into a bluff. He has turned it into a bluff, and the way he slammed his chips in there, you just think he's strong, right, Tower?
That's what you'd expect. That's the way he wants you to believe it.
Is he going for the old reverse tell? Like the old I don't care, have me chips usually means that someone's strong, but Andy Bradshaw throwing in the old reverse tell here, drinks the water as well. Acting as comfortable as can be now. And what you do is Sam, because we still got Ewan behind us who still can have flushes as well. The ace-x of diamonds all in Ewan's range, king queen of diamonds, king 9 of diamonds all still there. And now Sam, this is gross with the jack 10.
Can he ever?
With everything Andy's giving off Tower, I like. He may sell the reverse tell here. He actually may. He may just let this go, Sam. Think this guy, what is he supposed to have? He's called Ewan C-bet. We've then raised. Ewan's called, and he overcalls. Like it looks like a flush, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
This is going to be fun.
If Sam calls us, Ewan get out of the way.
No, Ewan don't fold his hand, but this is what I'm saying. It's going to work out. Look, now Ewan with aces, ace of diamonds, just not going to fold, right? Getting this price.
Nope.
Even Vandy, I know Vandy got the flush. We've only got 12.7 back. Okay, so we're not actually calling to win 40. Let me figure this out. So difference of 3.5 in stacks. So there's 36.7 to win for Ewan. So he's actually getting 3-1. So he needs 25% equity. And assuming we can hit 9 diamonds here. Well, let's say we can hit 7 diamonds because Andy's repping a flush, 2.5% with 1 card to come. So we're actually getting like 18-19% against a flusher as Ewan. So we're actually not getting the correct price. But then what we do, we start scattering in maybe some 2 pairs. If Andy has Jack 10 himself, we're then getting the right price because we got counter fill outs. So there you go. He does let it go.
He's going to turn him over.
Bradshaw,
show the table. Go on, brothers. Show him. Yeah!
What a move.
Brothers.
What a move from Andy Bradshaw. I'm surprised Ewan's fold getting that price so tight, because if Andy's got Jack 10 in there as well, if we give him all the combos of Jack 10, 9 left. Yeah, Jack and 10 on board. If we give him 9 combos of Jack 10 as well, when we've got the counterfeit outs and the chance to hit an ace, we've now actually got 15 outs to hit, assuming 7 diamonds we can hit as well. So then we're actually getting like 30, 33, 34% when he has that hand. Wow. So maybe it's like close to break even there, but I would have probably flicked it in aces, ace of diamonds. Takes a... But I guess Ewan just thinks like I do. He sold the reverse tell to me. I could see his card and I thought we had a flush. He sold it to me in the booth. He was doing all the things that someone does usually when they've got a monster. But he's a smart old man, is Andy, and he's obviously sold that to the table. And it's worked. Big slick for Ivy. Yeah, again.
Yep. Nice to look down at.
Tim with the 9-5 of spades.
There's me thinking hand was over. But big blind Tim decides to hit the 9 on the turn.
Just bangs the 9 off. What has happened here? Just expect to see a defend. Next thing you know, it's all in and a call. And Tim going to double up through Ivy to 1.9 million. 9-5 of spades.
Just a wild shove on the big blind after an open from Ivy. Wow.
Yeah, that can't be good, Tower. Like, Tim's a very good player, we know that, but I've no idea what the hell was going on with that hand. That seems... Wine o'clock, says Okers. Good shout, actually. When you know, wine o'clock. That is a good shout. He has been on the old red wine all day. Maybe it was a bit of a little... I don't know. I have no idea.
You just think open from Ivy and he's over.
Well, I thought he was going to defend. I looked up, thought he was going to defend, and next thing you know, he's all in.
Yeah, the old Dolly Parton, working wonders.
Yeah. What's happened?
Yeah.
I've seen the screenshot of the message. I'm not going to say who it's from, but Tim's got too many friends that obviously have too much money. But Tim gets a message about 7 o'clock saying that if he goes all in on the final table with specifically 9-5 suited, that his mate would give him £3,000. And Tim was like, okay. He said, are you sure? Are you serious? And his mate was like, yeah, I'm literally going to give you...
Here we go, we got the score on the board. Airham 1, Stanson 0. Let's do it again.
Okay guys, so the blinds are going to reset at 100 and 200. Series score is 1-0 to Constantin. If it goes to a tiebreak, we will redraw for the button and the seats.
Move seats. We did a redraw for seats, we didn't redraw the button. I want to know what the reasoning is for that. Maybe it's so they can both see the TV. Maybe it's so one of them can see the clock and they don't have to turn around, I don't know. You just need to redraw for the button, but the redraw for seats and we've swapped round. So just to confuse the commentators, Constantin is now on the left.
Don't ask, Tower. Do not ask.
So we're on the best of 3.
Raise 5. Call. If you put your cards in the box, place. You're okay. Check. 400. Call.
Down with the 8-4. Constantine with bottom. Ace pairs on the turn. And Dan. Barreling away here.
Constantin with the deuce. Dan with the aggression.
I don't think we fold a 7 here as Dan. I think that's kind of the thing. Targeting deuce X is probably going to work. Well, it's not going to work. Constantine with a hero.
Rolling with the deuce. Joe Diego, I know we're going back to the question that you had. Evening, guys. If I want a UK Open seat, is it live cash out? Do I have to play it, or will it become a live credit? Be careful when you play them. Most of the cash out satellites, I think all of them, are now target satellites, which means if you win a seat or if you win a ticket, you can either play it, or you have to play it, or you can sell it on, or pass it on to your friends, or give it away, whatever you want to do. But it will have to be used at the festival that we're at. So going forward, moving forward, all cash out satellites are going to be target satellites for that festival alone. But doesn't mean you have to play it. You can pass it on, sell it, or whatever you want to do, or give it to your mates, sell it if we do 50-50 in Malarkey or anything like that. That's what you want to do. But the target satellites means they will have to use the ticket at the festival where we are. So obviously this one is Coventry. I hope that helps.
About 400.
Constantin with the king 9, flopping 2. Just a check call. Six on the turn.
About 1,000. Call.
Bet of 1,000 and a call from Dan. Down with the aggression, and then the 8 on the river. Always in front. Constantin wants to flop 2. Well, depends what Dan does. Check call, lead on the river. Are we ever bluffing? Probably not. 2.6. You're going to get a call as well with ace high, and you're going to see it that he's flopped it. How often do we say it? Check call, lead is not very often a bluff, and not even heads up. So 28 to 12, 60 bigs for Dan Stanser. Her hand is winning 1-0. 1-0 to the air and 1-0. Can Dan Stanser get his way back into it? But it is 1-0.
Raise 5. Call.
6, 8, 9 flop. Checkity check. King on the turn. So 5 minutes in, Constantin yet again. Chip leader, Dan stands up on the chase. He's a big cash player, the Constantin. He's not going to fold too many hands. He's going to hit him. Yeah, the 3 deuce showing he's not folding many.
400.
6, Jack, 8 flop. Check call from Constantin. Checks again on the 7. This time a bet of 1,000 and will be in a heart, 3rd heart, straight down there and all sorts. Constantin gets out of the way.
He's a good little player, Richie Burner, Constantine. Maybe not the most theoretical based, but when you play a lot of live poker, see a lot of hands, sometimes you just have that feel, that gut instinct in the moment.
Three is 5. Three is 21.
Hand 1-0.
Three is 5.
He saved his bounty chips and then saw the big ones get pulled out early. Whoa.
Call.
So that matter was sat at the bar.
Yeah.
One bounty in the whole tournament.
How much?
Pulled the big 15k.
Of course he did.
One bounty. Gets knocked out.
Has
He
he,
had one bounty.
has he been getting mystery bounty coaching from Ravi by any chance?
He must have.
You're grand.
One
It's
bounty
small
in the
bit
whole
like-
tournament. Went up, pulled it, because he actually said to the table, "What's the strategy for these?"
Okay.
And somebody said, "If the big one's still there, or one of the top 2, I would go now."
Yeah.
He literally stood up, went now, pulled it out,
But
15k.
But then when you're sat there with your bounty chips and someone goes up and they pull them in, suddenly your bounty chip has become worth more now. This is the thing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's both ways.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to both. The geniuses of mystery bounty tournaments will tell you it doesn't actually really matter too much.
Three is
But
5.
if you're playing one in Vegas and there's $1 million in there, I'm going up why it's still in there.
Absolutely, I'm running.
Exactly that.
Yeah, me too.
Eight.
So Dan just barreling away here.
So the 10-9 open ender for Dan.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice one to barrel those down. See folding out some better hands and going to try and bluff Constantine again. Not getting it through before and not learnt his lesson. Constantine pays it off with a 4. Dan maybe may start thinking now and adjusting. Well, Doesn't seem like this man's ever folding a pair or better. Maybe we need to start having it just like that. 10 minutes into round 2, and Constantin 3-1 chip lead.
It's still 50 bigs if you're looking at it like that. If you want to play it nice and slow, still have 50 bigs.
Five. Raise. Raise. Fold. Five. Raise. Fold.
4-3 for Constantin. Bumps it up. Probably one that does get C-bet with just 4 high. Once again, own ideas, checking it back. Does turn the up and down. Surely now we're going to see delay. Let's fold out the better hand.
He's just nice to sat there with Constantine.
Down on the bottom.
500.
Constantin with the A7. Still playing 200 big blind, so not really one that's happy to get in at north of 40.
Nice flop.
You can see that here is Dan and give up on most turns. We battle like a 7. Barrel like a jack.
5 of hearts. What we got?
Yeah, not one that we want a barrel tower. Like always want equity against some of the like Queen X, Ace X. Just a white flag wave, and now Constantin probably gonna try and extract from his ace.
It's old Ravi in the background.
Good old Ravi.
Here all week, he says.
Great effort in Manchester as well. Would have really loved to have seen him close that out. And 4-1 chip lead early on in round 2. Constantin almost there. Pocket pair for Dan. Gonna go for perhaps complete jam here. This could be the 1 tower. This could potentially be one that Dan moves in with. I doubt Constantine's going to call off 40. But he is. He feels like this is his chance to win it here and now.
Go.
We're flipping, and if the flip goes Constantine's way, we will have our heads-up champion.
We'll do the two stay in front, and we get back into it. 8, 9, 4, 2 spades. Taylor and Queen for a sweat.
He's not changing anything, so Dan fading 6 outs the double and get right back in this.
There we go. Back up to 15.6.
70 years. 70 years. That's your
Constantine on the button. Still with the chip lead even after doubling up down. Down with a free bet with the King 10. Should be working versus Constantine's holding, but it just put in the 40 BBs with the King Jack off. Does decide to let Dan have this one.
We're not even in at the end of the first level, well, we could have had a champ. We could have had a champion. Ham 1, Stancer 0. Team leader as well. Nearly had a champion, but doubled up from Dan.
Pocket 10 so Dan, 9-7 for Constantine. Defended. As whiffy as it comes for Constantine. It's going to be check back fold. But what do I know, Tower? Just going to check raise the 9-7 on King 5-4. Do have club in hand, I guess, as Constantine, so maybe got some ideas, and them ideas may become reality now. Club turn is going to send in the second barrel, and this is a horrible turn for Dan because flush draw is now jumping in front of us. We're behind to King X already. Can't really fault him for letting that go. Club lines up.
We have got to the second level after a full double from Dan Stancer. Now down to 36 bigs with the blinds of 400. Ace 8 for Constantin. Against Ace 5. Good old Danny boy, Nanny. 3 bets to 3.5.
Constantine here. Seems like slightly too many to be getting in. Looks like Constantine agrees. Does go with call. Ooh.
Ace 6, 9. Well then, Dan. 10k, 7 in the middle.
Yeah, small bet, mono board, comes with 20%. Expect to just see call from Constantine. Now, we ever want to do any raising here, does make the call. And a 4 of hearts. Could be some problems. As Dan now with less than pot back. Looks like he's going to jam the lot in. Yes, he is.
Indeed he is. Do we make the call?
We have to tell. We're heads up. We've got ace 8. Dan can have like some king queen, queen jack with a spade, this type of stuff. Dan, we'll see, he's in rough shape here. So 5 to win it outright. 4 or 6 would chop it up.
He taps the table and said, I'm going to need a bit of help here. Any 4, any 5, any 6. Any middle cards about, dealer? Oh, do we have a champion? He's a 10 and 2 stands a 0. 2-0 to the Iran.
Yeah, funny enough, we've done some research before we got here with the 4 live players. Constantine was the only one that had never played heads up on the thing. His best result was 4th. We had Keith, we had Yazoo, we had Dan, who probably had 50 plus heads ups between them. And then the man who'd never played heads up before is the champion of the UK Open Heads Up Championship.
Easy game.
There you go.
Easy game. And that's for the streaming is it. Scheduled tomorrow, we've got 2. Oh, bonus type.
2.
Yes, we've got 2. All right, we got 2. 2. We got the online 6 max final at 12:20, and then the mini, excuse me, the mini main day 3 starting at 5:20. Doubt that will be at the final table, but you never know. Check overnight with the chip counts, but we could be on the final table. If not, it'll be down to 2 tables. But the online 6 max will give you the rundown of the players for that tomorrow, because I don't actually have it with me. And if you want to join in the fun from tomorrow, the rest of the festival looks like this. The £1 million guarantee starts at midday. It's going to be just unbelievable. There's cash out satellites still running on, there's high roller satellites running on, there's a as you know, there's a 6 max, and then we've got all sorts as well going on. We've got the day 3 of the mini, we've got the cash outs going. Don't forget the target ones. If you do play a target one in the club, it is having to be used in the club. You can use it yourself or pass it on to somebody else. Thursday is about the mystery bounty.
So I was just checking if the PLO late reg had closed for today. That's why I went back to page 1.
Oh, right, I see.
I've missed it by 10 minutes.
No way. Could have got chips to buy your in.
I could have.
I
didn't know it would be done.
No,
I would
that's
have got him to buy me in. Heads up would have lasted 5 hours, like the mystery bounty.
But yeah, Thursday, the high roller and everything going on. It's everything that is going on. It's going to be an absolute cracking week. Really looking forward to the rest of the week. And we are streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So come and join us tomorrow for the 6 max online that was played online, coming live for the final 6, and then the mini main final later in the evening. Looking forward to it. Hope you come and join us. Bit of extra fun today. We had the champion Erhan with the Heads Up Championship. Well done to Erhan. And bit of news.
John Gilchrist as well.
They played this online.
Sachin Joshi, Alex Todd.
Oh, Sachin Joshi, not seen him since he finished the last 2 tables of the World Series.
Good names.
Last 2 series, I was there. Come on, Sachin. That should be interesting tomorrow. Toddy's in it. Matt Davenport, chip leader of the 6 max. But we're back tomorrow at 12:20 with this, and then the mini. Whenever we get the chip counts overnight, we'll see you there for the one that's on at 5:20 p.m. And the bonus, we've had the Heads Up Championships. Well done to Constantin Erhan for winning it, and we'll see you tomorrow starting at 12:20 for the 6 max that started online and is now live in Coventry. See you tomorrow at 12:20. Ta-ta.
Good night.